The rain hammered the fire escape like fists on a coffin lid. But it was the click of the deadbolt that yanked me from the haze of cheap whiskey and regret. My father's ghost lingered in the stack of unpaid bills on the kitchen table. His signature scrawled like a noose across the loan papers from those South Bronx sharks. Then the door swung open. And there she was. All sharp edges and shadowed eyes. Gunmetal gray coat dripping onto my threshold. Her voice cutting through the storm like a switchblade. Rose Harlan. Your old man's debts don't pay themselves. You're coming with me. Now. I didn't scream. Didn't even flinch when her gloved hand clamped my wrist. Cool leather biting into skin still warm from the stove where I'd been burning his last letter. The apartment smelled of scorched paper and desperation. My haven in this crumbling Brooklyn walk-up turned trap in seconds. She moved like smoke. Efficient. No wasted breath. Her boots leaving wet prints on the faded linoleum as she scanned the room. Pistol tucked casual in her waistband like it was just another accessory. Clara Voss. I'd heard the name whispered in dive bars. The kind of woman who collected more than cash. Who left men broken and vanished before dawn. But me? Why me? Get your coat, she said. Not a request. Her breath fogging the chill air between us. I snatched my leather jacket from the hook. Heart slamming against ribs like it wanted out. And followed her into the downpour. The cab ride blurred the city lights into neon veins. Manhattan's pulse mocking my own frantic beat. She sat close. Too close. Her thigh brushing mine on the sticky vinyl seat. Cologne sharp with sandalwood and something darker. Like gun oil. Your father owed 20 grand. Interest makes it 40 now. You work it off. Or we take what's left. Her words hung heavy. No room for questions. But my mind raced. Journalism gigs barely covered rent. What the hell could I offer a woman like her? We pulled up to a warehouse on the edge of Red Hook. The kind of place where ships rusted forgotten and deals went down in whispers. Floodlights cut the night. Casting her face in stark relief. High cheekbones and a scar faint along her jaw. Story untold. Inside. The air reeked of salt and diesel. Crates stacked like tombstones. 2 goons flanked the door. Meaty and silent. But she waved them off with a tilt of her head. She's mine to handle. Mine. The word twisted in my gut. Equal parts fear and something hotter. Unbidden. She led me to a back office. Fluorescent buzz overhead. Desk piled with ledgers and a bottle of bourbon half empty. Sit. I did. Knees knocking under the metal chair. While she poured 2 fingers into smudged glasses. Drink. The liquor burned going down. Steadying the shake in my hands. Up close. Without the rain's veil. She was younger than the rumors. Early 30s maybe. Blue eyes like fractured ice. Hair black as midnight pulled tight. Italian roots. They said. But her accent was pure Jersey. Vowels flattened by streets harder than mine. Your pop thought he could skim off the top. Big mistake. Now it's on you. I swallowed hard. The bourbon pooling warm in my belly. I don't have that kind of money. I'm just a writer scraping by. She leaned in. Elbows on the desk. Studying me like a mark. Lips curving faint. Not quite a smile. Everyone's got something to trade. Rose. Question is. What are you willing to give? The clock on the wall ticked relentless. Each second stretching the silence until it snapped. She stood. Circling slow. Her fingers trailing the desk's edge. Then brushing my shoulder light. Sending sparks down my arm. I jerked away. Heat rising in my cheeks. Don't. But my voice cracked. Betraying the lie. I'd always chased stories of the underbelly. Inked profiles on forgotten souls. But this was no interview. This was her world swallowing mine. She paused behind me. Breath warm on my neck. 40 grand. Or you walk my routes. Collect what I say. When I say. 1 month. No cops. No running. Her hand hovered. Not touching. But the air thickened. Charged. I nodded. Numb. The deal sealed in the dim glow. Dawn crept in gray through the grimy windows as she drove me back. Her black SUV cutting through puddles like a blade. Silence again. Broken only by the wiper's swish. My phone buzzed ignored in my pocket. Probably my editor chasing a deadline I'd never meet now. Why me? I finally muttered. Staring at the blur of brownstones. She glanced over. Grip tight on the wheel. Because you're clean. No ties. And. She trailed off, jaw clenching. Your eyes. They see too much. Like mine used to. The confession hung. Raw. Pulling at threads I didn't know were loose. Parked outside my building. Engine idling. She turned full. Blue eyes locking mine. Be ready tomorrow. 6 sharp. Her fingers brushed my knee. Deliberate this time. Lingering. I froze. Pulse thundering. The touch igniting something forbidden. Fierce. Then she was gone. Taillights fading into morning mist. Leaving me unraveling in the cab's ghost. Sleep evaded me that day. Tangled in sheets that smelled of smoke and her cologne. I paced the apartment. Father's photo mocking from the mantel. His smile crooked. The same one that charmed lenders into loans he couldn't repay. By noon, I'd packed a go bag. Half expecting sirens or worse. But 6 came. And there she was. Leaning on the SUV's hood. Cigarette dangling unlit from her lips. Move. We headed north. Out of the city. Her playlist low thrum of Springsteen. Gravel voice laments fitting the gray sky. First stop, a dingy diner in Yonkers. Fluorescent harsh on Formica counters. She slid into the booth across from me. Ordering coffee black. Eyes scanning the room like threats hid in the pie case. The mark was a plumber. Mid-40s. Sweat beading on his brow as he spotted us. Clara. I swear. Next week. She smiled then. Cold. Predatory. Next week was last week. Eddie. Her voice dropped. Silk over steel. And he folded. Peeling bills from a greasy envelope. $2,000. She pocketed it smooth. Then nodded at me. Count it. My hands trembled as I thumbed the stack. The weight of it foreign. Dirty. Eddie's eyes flicked to me. Curious. Pitying. Who's the kid? Clara's laugh was low. Throaty. My good luck charm. We left with the cash. Air crisp outside. Leaves skittering across the lot. In the car? She handed me half the stack. Your cut. Earn it. I stared at the bills. Crisp and condemning. This isn't me. She revved the engine. Tires spitting gravel. It is now. By nightfall. We'd hit 3 more spots. A bodega in the Bronx. A garage in Harlem. Each handover quicker. Her presence alone enough to loosen tongues and wallets. The city unfolded in fragments. Neon signs flickering like faulty memories. Her world a web of favors and fear. In the SUV's cocoon. Exhaustion settled. My head lolling against the window. She drove one-handed. The other drumming the dash. You did good today. The praise warmed unexpected. Chasing the chill from my bones. I turned. Catching her profile. The scar silver in dashboard glow. Why this life? She sighed. Long and weary. The sound humanizing her edges. Family. Debts of my own. Started collecting to pay them. Now. It's all I know. The vulnerability cracked her armor. Just a sliver. But enough to make my chest ache. We ended in a motel off the thruway. Neon vacancy sign buzzing pink. 1 room. 2 beds. Her call. Safer together. I showered first. Steam fogging the mirror. Scrubbing away the day's grime but not the questions. When I emerged in borrowed sweats. She was unpacking takeout. Chinese from a cart we'd passed. Steam rising from cartons. We ate cross-legged on the bed. Forks clinking. TV murmuring some cop show irony. Tell me about you, she said. Popping a dumpling. Eyes soft in the lamplight. I hesitated. Then spilled. Words tumbling like rain. The freelance grind. Chasing truths in a city of lies. The hollow after my mom's passing. Father's slow unravel. She listened. Really listened. Her nod slow. Absorbing. Sounds lonely. 2 words. But they pierced. Naming the void I danced around. Her hand found mine then. Tentative. Calluses rough against my palm. Me too. The room shrank. Air humming with unspoken. I didn't pull away. Instead, I leaned. Drawn like gravity. Our foreheads touching. Breaths mingling. Her lips brushed mine. Soft. Testing. Tasting of soy and salt. Heat bloomed low. Forbidden fruit. My fingers threading her hair. Pulling her closer. She deepened it. Hungry. Hands roaming. Mapping skin like territory claimed. We tumbled back. Clothes shedding in whispers. Her body lean and scarred. Stories etched in faded ink and tissue. Mine softer. Yielding. But meeting her fire. The night blurred into gasps and sighs. Her name a mantra on my tongue. The world outside forgotten in the tangle of limbs and longing. Morning light slanted through thin curtains, gilding her sleeping form. Dark lashes fanned on cheeks flushed from dreams or us. I traced the line of her shoulder, marveling at the woman who'd stormed my life. Now vulnerable in repose. But reality intruded with her phone's buzz. A text lighting the screen, boss wants update. Yonkers dry. The reminder chilled. Our bubble fragile. She stirred. Eyes opening to mine. A smile lazy. Sated. Hey. We dressed in quiet. The afterglow laced with tension. Her fingers lingering on my hip as she zipped her jacket. Chicago next. Bigger fish. The road called. Pulling us west. The Hudson fading in the rearview. Interstate hummed under tires. Miles melting the skyline into flatlands. Radio static giving way to country twang that she hummed off-key. Drawing a laugh from me unbidden. You sing like a cat in heat. She grinned. Unoffended. Cranking it louder. Belting lyrics with exaggerated drawl until I joined. Voices hoarse over the wind. Stops blurred, a truck stop in Pennsylvania for gas and greasy fries. Her stealing bites from my plate. Knee bumping mine under the table. Thief. Only what you don't miss. The flirtation danced light. But undercurrents pulled. Her glances lingering. Waited. Chicago loomed by dusk. Windy city bite in the air as we checked into a loop hotel. Her card swiping smooth for a suite overlooking the river. Perks. The room sprawled. King bed mocking our charade of separate. We hit the streets. Her network threading through dive bars and back alleys. Collections swift. Her reputation a shadow that opened doors. One mark. A slick lawyer in a high-rise. Balked. His denial oily. She leaned in close. Voice velvet threat. You know what happens to forgetful men. He paid triple. Eyes averted from me hovering by the door. Back in the suite. Adrenaline thrummed. Her pacing like a caged wolf. Bastard. I poured scotch from the minibar. Handing her a glass. Our fingers brushing electric. We talked then. Deep into the night. Sprawled on the carpet. City lights painting patterns on the ceiling. Her stories spilled reluctant, a brother lost to the life. Her climb from runner to collector. The hollow victories. Power's a drug. Rose. Tastes sweet. Leaves you empty. I shared mine. The article that tanked my career. Exposing a corrupt councilman. The fallout isolating me further. Truth's a lonely bedfellow. Her laugh bitter. Ain't that the damn truth? Proximity ignited again. Slower this time. Exploratory. Her mouth tracing collarbones. Eliciting shivers that built to waves. We explored unhurried. Learning rhythms. Her whispers in my ear praises that undid me. Vulnerability bared in the dark. Days blurred in the Midwest grind. Detroit's rust belt echoing our wear. Collections laced with her tension mounting. Calls from the boss curt. Pushing limits, she muttered one night in a Flint motel. Staring at her phone. I massaged her shoulders. Knots like coiled wire. Walk away. She turned. Eyes stormy. Can't. Not yet. Our nights anchored us. Bodies seeking solace. But cracks showed. Her distance growing in daylight. Smiles strained. I caught her staring once. Gaze soft. Scared. What if this ends bad? The question hung. My heart clenching. Then we fight it. Westward pull intensified. Crossing into Iowa cornfields. Endless gold under vast skies that mirrored my swelling doubts. Des Moines stop. A farm co-op owner haggling. Her patience fraying. Voice rising sharp. I stepped in. Words calm. Journalist's edge disarming him into compliance. She watched. Brow arched. Not bad. Harlan. Pride warmed her tone. But later. Alone. She pulled me close. Urgent. Like time slipped. You're changing things. Her admission. Breath hot against skin. As we moved together. Fierce. Claiming. The road wore us. Motels blending. Her hand finding mine over console. Thumb stroking absent. Texas next. He'll melt us. Laughter light. But under. Fear nod. Father's debt loomed. The month's end approaching. Her world a tide I couldn't outrun. In a Kansas diner. Pie cooling untouched. She voiced it. When this ends. You go back. The words cut. Casual blade. I set down my fork. Throat tight. And you? She looked away. Jaw set. Same old. Silence stretched. Heavy. The future a specter between bites. Oklahoma dust choked the air. Collections wrote now. My role seamless. Her trust a quiet gift. Nights deepened intimacy. Confessions whispered post-climax. Her fears of entrapment. My dreams of stability clashing like storm fronts. Love's a risk, she murmured once. Fingers tracing my spine. I held her tighter. Unspoken vow. But the boss's calls sharpened. Demands escalating. Her replies clipped. Trouble brewing, she admitted in a Tulsa room. Pacing nude. Vulnerability stark. I rose. Wrapping arms around her waist. We face it. Her sigh ruffled my hair. Resigned yet yielding. The panhandle stretched barren. Mirroring the ache building. Her touches lingering desperate. Amarillo neon bathed us in a roadside bar. Her buying rounds. Laughter forced. To debts paid. Glasses clinked. But eyes betrayed turmoil. Back in the room. Lovemaking turned tender. Exploratory. Tears salting our skin. Don't let go, I breathed. Her response a fierce kiss. Bodies arching in sync. Dawn brought clarity cruel. Her packing swift. LA final push. Then home. The word home twisted. Mine Brooklyn hollow. Hers a cage. California sprawled golden. Palm shadows dancing on freeways as we hit the sprawl. Collections shifted upscale. Beverly Hills lairs. Marks in silk suits folding under her glare. Success swelled the pot. 30 grand nearing. But cost mounted. Her exhaustion etched in shadows under eyes. Venice Beach boardwalk stroll one evening. Waves crashing indifferent. Her hand in mine public bold. Feels normal. Rare admission. Pulling me close for a salt-kissed kiss. Passers-by blurring. But night calls shattered illusion. Boss's voice tinny through speaker. Wrap it. Or else. The tension peaked in a Malibu cliffside safe house. Ocean roar below mocking our whispers. 40 by week's end, she tallied. Ledgers spread. I nodded. But heart rebelled. Then what? She froze. Pen hovering. You walk. Clean. The finality stung. Tears pricking. Just like that. Her chair scraped. Pulling me up. Embrace crushing. Can't keep you in this. But her kiss contradicted. Hungry. Devouring. Leading to the rug where we unraveled slow. Every touch a plea. Afterward. Tangled. She confessed. Fell for you first night. Those eyes. Reciprocated. My walls crumbled. Same. Stormed in. Stayed. Climax brewed swift. Final mark a cartel link in the hills. Handover gone south. Shots cracking night. She shoved me behind crates. Pistol blazing. Her cry sharp as lead grazed her arm. Chaos reigned. Goons scattering. But blood welled crimson on her sleeve. Run. I refused. Dragging her to the SUV. Tires screaming down switchbacks. Her gasps ragged. Hospital in Santa Monica. ER white stark. Stitches pulling as I held her hand. Knuckles white. Stupid, she muttered. Painkillers slurring. Brave. My vigil stretched. Dawn painting her pale face gold. Recovery days blurred in a rented beach cottage. Waves lulling. Me tending wounds. Her grumbling but yielding. Boss'll cut me loose. Fear-laced triumph. The pot hit 40. Wired anonymous. Debt dissolved. But freedom tasted bittersweet. Her world contracting. Mine expanding empty. Stay, I urged one sunset. Sand between toes. Her head on my shoulder. She sighed. Deep. Resonant. Can't drag you down. Arguments flared gentle. Truths bared raw. Love's weight undeniable. Departure loomed. Airport shuttle idling. Her bag light. Mine heavier with us. Brooklyn calls. Lies. She cupped my face. Thumb tracing lip. Write our story. The real one. Kiss farewell salt stung. Her boarding. My heart fracturing. Months stretched. Articles penned veiled. Her text sporadic. Ghosts in ether. Then a knock. Brooklyn rain sheeting. Her on threshold. Scar new. Eyes fierce. Couldn't stay away. Door shut. Arms entwined. Debts paid in full. Futures woven tentative. Years folded gentle. Her out. Consulting legit. Me publishing truths bolder. Chicago wedding small. Vows whispered over lake views. Rings simple silver. Life's rhythm steady. Arguments spiced with laughter. Nights reaffirming bonds forged in fire. Daughters came. 2. Eyes blending ours. Green and blue. Teaching grace amid chaos. Father's shadow faded. Lessons in forgiveness etched deep. In quiet moments. Her hand in mine. I marveled, from death's dark maw. Love emerged. Resilient. Human. A testament that even in shadows, light finds way. The canyon winds held like lost souls as Clara gunned the engine up the Angelus crest. Her knuckles white on the wheel. Blood seeping through the makeshift bandage I'd tied from my scarf. Keep pressure on it, I said. Voice steady despite the panic clawing my throat. The SUV fishtailing on loose gravel. She'd taken the hit for me back there. Shoving me aside when that cartel weasel pulled his piece. The pop of gunfire still echoing in my ears louder than the roar outside. Malibu's glittering facade had cracked wide open, revealing the rot beneath. And now we were fleeing it all. Her breath coming in shallow hitches that twisted my gut. Rose. Eyes front. Her command rough. But laced with that Jersey grit I'd come to crave. Like gravel under tires. I obeyed. Scanning the rear view for tails. The highway empty save for tumbleweeds dancing mocking. The safe house deal had soured fast. Whispers of double-cross turning to lead. Her quick draw saving us but costing flesh. Why'd you jump in front? My question hung. Accusatory. As we crested Mulholland. City sprawl twinkling below like a promise broken. She winced. Shifting gears. Habit. Protect what's mine. The words landed soft. Unintended bomb. Warming the chill of near loss. Santa Monica freeway blurred into emergency lights. ER doors hissing open to antiseptic sting. Nurses swarmed. Peeling back the scarf to reveal the gash. Shallow but ugly. Her curses muffled as they prepped. I paced the waiting room. Vinyl chairs creaking under fidget. Coffee vending bitter on my tongue. Texts to no one. My world shrunk to this fluorescent limbo. Doctor emerged crisp. Through and through. No vitals hit. Stitches. Antibiotics. Rest. Relief buckled my knees. But she emerged paler. Arm slung. Blue eyes finding mine across the hall. Told you I'd walk it off. The cottage came next. A weathered A-frame off Pacific Coast Highway. Rented hasty with cash from the pot. Waves crashing eternal below cliffs. Air salt thick. Healing her wound as much as time. Me playing nurse clumsy. Changing dressings to her grunts of protest. Easy. Harlan. Ain't my first rodeo. Mornings. I'd brew coffee strong. Black like her soul. Watching her sip on the deck. Horizon endless. What now, I'd ask. Toes curling in worn planks. Her good hand pulling me close. Heel. Then figure. But figuring loomed. The 40 grand tallied in a burner account. Debt's ledger balanced. Yet chains lingered invisible. Days stretched lazy. Her strength returning in increments. Walks along tide pools turning to jogs. Laughter bubbling when she chased me into surf. Waves soaking jeans. Gotcha. Tackle gentle. Her body pressing mine into sand. Kisses tasting of brine and freedom tentative. Nights. Fire crackling in the stone hearth. We'd talk low. Shadows dancing on walls like old ghosts. Her family tales deeper now. Anana's gnocchi Sundays shattered by uncle's business, her escape into collecting a rebellion twisted. Wanted control. Got cage instead. My turn? Father's alcoholism a slow poison. Mother's quiet strength my anchor lost too soon. Wrote to survive. You to live. Intimacy rebuilt cautious. Her arms twinge halting us mid-touch. Frustration etching her brow. Damn it. I'd soothe with lips on collar. Hands exploring unhurried. Learning her anew. Scars maps to navigate. Plenty of ways. Her moan approval. Bodies sinking fluid. Climax soft sighs rather than storms. Vulnerability peaked one dusk. Sunset bleeding orange into sea. Her head in my lap. Scared me back there. Thought I'd lose you. Confession raw. Tears tracking her temple. I stroked hair damp. Heart swelling. Ditto. Can't do this without. Promise unspoken. Binding tighter than vows. Boss's shadow crept via voicemails deleted unheard. Her burner smashed on a rock. Shards glittering like shattered trust. Clean break, she declared. Arm flexing healed. Pot wired anonymous to the lender's shell. Confirmation ping closing the chapter. Elation mixed dread. Brooklyn's pull faint against this coastal haze. Go back, she urged. Packing duffels light. Your life. Arguments simmered gentle. My pleas met with sighs weary. This world's poison. Rose. Taints everything. But eyes betrayed longing. The war within. Airport dawn came cruel. Shuttles hum indifferent. LAX bustle swallowing us whole. Check-in line snaked. Her boarding pass clutched like lifeline. Mine to nowhere. Write me, she said. Bag slung. Blue eyes fierce. Every damn word. I nodded. Throat clogged. Pulling her into alcove shadowed. Kiss desperate. Tongues tangling farewell. Her taste lingering as gates called. Love you. Whispered first. Her echo faint over PA drone. She vanished through security. Silhouette shrinking. Leaving me hollowed. Tears hot on cheeks. Brooklyn welcomed gray. Rain sluicing gutters like uncried sobs. Apartment stale with absence. First night solo. Bed vast. Her pillow scent faded to laundry soap. Words poured then. Journal filling frantic. Our story inked raw. Emotions jagged on page. Gigs trickled. Editor's voice tinny over line. Missed your edge. Harlan. But edge dulled without her. Night scrolling contacts unsent. Ache settling bone deep. Weeks blurred. Packages arriving unsigned. Italian leather gloves. A conch shell from some shore. Her silent threads. Chicago call shattered stasis. Her voice crackling. Pack. Now. Plane ride turbulent. Heart matching. O'Hare's chill biting as she waited curbside. Arm unslung. Grin crooked. Missed that fire. Reunion crashed in hotel room. Clothes shed hasty. Bodies reclaiming fervent. Her name gasped into pillows. Stayed away too long. Over breakfast next morn. Lake winds whipping. She spilled. Cut loose. Boss bought the ghost wire. Consulting now. Legit shadows. Elation surged. But caution tempered. Ours. Wedding brewed organic. City Hall stark but ours. Vows murmured over Michigan Avenue coffee. Rings engraved simple. RNC infinity looped. Vows echoed our road, through debts and dawns. I choose you. Reception dive bar intimate. Toast slurred by old marks turned friends. Laughter healing old wounds. Life rooted tentative. Her gigs tracing white collar fraud. Mine books birthing truths bolder. Panels and lofts drawing crowds hungry for real. Daughters arrived storms gentle. First a squall of red hair and wails. Green eyes mirroring mine. Named Elena for her nana untold. Second quieter. Blue-eyed tempest. Clara's miniature. Sophia's cry pulling heartstrings taut. Motherhood reshaped us. Sleepless nights tag-teamed. Her lullabies off-key jersey. My story spun from ether. Parks in summer. Swings creaking. Her pushing higher. Fly. Kiddo. Winters. Hearth fires. Tales of road adventures sanitized. Girls wide-eyed. Mama Clara saved you. We'd exchange glances. Loaded. Love's history layered. Challenges wove natural. Her past echoes and threats veiled. My deadlines clashing family. Arguments flaring hot then cooling to make up slow. Can't lose this, she'd say. Post-storm. Arms anchoring. Therapy sessions joint. Unpacking baggage shared. Growth and vulnerability bared. Community built slow. Potlucks with neighbors queer-coded. Alliances forged in shared glances. Father's end came quiet. Hospice bed sterile. My hand in his frail. Forgiveness whispered last. Proud. Rosie. Her vigil silent support. Clara's strength my rock. Aging crept graceful. Lines etching laughs shared. Hair silvering matched. Walks along lakefront hands clasped. Memories surfacing soft. Daughters launched. Elena's journalism echo. Sophia's law-bent justice. Grandkids toddled later. Chaos joyful. Her knee bounces patient. My tales embellished. Evenings porch swinged. Wine sipped slow. Sunsets painting gold. Best dead ever, she'd quip. My laugh bubbling. Head on shoulder. Legacy lingered human. Our story published veiled. Touching lives shadowed. Letters arriving thanks for light and dark. In final hush. Her hand mine fading. Eyes locking eternal. Worth every mile. Passage peaceful. My vigil echoing beginnings. Grief's tide receded slow. Life persisting vibrant. Her spirit and winds. Daughter's strengths. Love's echo undimmed. From Mafia's grip to hearth's glow. We proved, redemption's not in settling scores. But in hearts mended. Connections forged unbreakable. Humanity's quiet triumph over chaos. Elena's first byline hit the stands like a thunderclap. Her photo splashed across the Sun-Times front. That same defiant chin I'd passed down. Green eyes blazing over a piece on union corruption that had aldermen squirming. I clipped it careful. Yellowing edges now pinned to the fridge amid kid art faded. Clara's low whistle from the kitchen pulling me back. Kids got your bite. Her voice gravel soft. Arm slung casual over my shoulder. Coffee mug warm against my side. Chicago's autumn bit crisp outside the window. Leaves carpeting sidewalks in golden rot. Mirroring the mix in my chest, pride laced with ache. Our girl grown and gone too soon. Think she'll call tonight. My mumble half to her. Half to air. As I traced the newsprint ink. Smudged from too many reads. Clara pulled me closer. Her scent sandalwood faint now. Faded leather jacket hung by the door like a relic. Bound to. After the dust settles. We'd raise them fierce. Elena chasing stories like I had. Pounding pavement in steel toes. Sophia shadowing courtrooms with notebooks sharp. But launching stung. Nest empty echoing our early days on the run. Motels cold until warmth built between us. Sophia's graduation followed swift. Northwestern robes billowing in stadium winds. Her speech on equity ringing clear. Blue eyes steady like her mother's in crisis. We sat front row. Clara's hand squeezing mine tight during applause. Tears pricking unashamed. Dinner after. Italian joint dim with candle flicker. Her toasting with Chianti raised. To justices yet unwon. Laughter flowed easy. Stories spilling of her first case. Pro bono fire that had Clara nodding approval. Boss blood? Through and through. But later. Drive home silent heavy. Her sigh breaking it. They're good kids. Rose. We did right. Affirmation needed. My nod burying doubt. Winter's deepened bonds. Holidays hearth-centered. Tree strung with ornaments hand-fired. Elena's from a road trip kiln. Sophia's lopsided star. Feasts grown tables. Lasagna layered thick nana style. Clara's recipe tweaked vegan for my quirks. Wine flowing tails tall. Remember Malibu, I'd tease? Her foot nudging mine under cloth. Eyes sparkling wicked. Daughter's rolled eyes knowing. Spare us, but grins betrayed delight in our ease. Gifts unwrapped slow. Hers always thoughtful, a journal leather-bound for my scribbles. Mine gloves supple for her drives. Spring brought Clara's shadow past creeping. A client referral turning sour. Old associate sniffing for leverage. Calls late. Her pacing kitchen linoleum worn. Voice low on phone. Handled. But sleep evaded us. Bodies close but minds miles. Tell me, I'd urge. Dawn light slanting blinds. Confession came halting. Ties she'd thought severed pulling taut. Won't touch us. Resolve steel. But fear flickered. My arms wrapping fierce. Therapy resumed tandem. Couch worn familiar. Unpacking fears layered. Her vulnerability my anchor. We're solid, counselor echoed. Our nods synced. Summer escapes healed. Road trip echoes in RV rumbling west. Daughters joining segments. Elena shotgun debating headlines. Sophia backseat plotting routes. Stops deliberate. Grand Canyon rims at sunrise, her hand in mine vast. Still takes breath. Zion trail steep. Her pace steadying my stumbles. Laughter echoing slot canyons. Evenings campfired. Esmores sticky. Stories morphing myth. Girls adding twists. Mama Clara's the hero, Sophia'd say. Clara's blush hidden in fireglow. My wink sealing legend. Ache resurfaced autumn next. Father's anniversary unmarked till now. His grave upstate simple. Weeds choking stone. Drive north impulsive. Clara shotgun silent supportive. her fingers interlacing over stick. Sight quiet. Leaves crunching underfoot. My nail weeding slow. Words spilling to earth. Forgave you long ago. Her hand on back steady. Tears shared unspoken. Return road quiet healing. Diner stop for pie warm. Her fork stealing crust. Stronger every year. Truth settled. Debt's ghost exorcised full. Daughters' lives wove parallel. Elena's engagement announced over FaceTime grainy. Her fiancé's grin shy. She's the story I chase. Clara's whoop startled neighbors. My hug virtual tight. Wedding planning frenzy. Venue hunts virtual. Her dress fittings described vivid. Lace hugging curves like mine once. Ceremony Napa vineyard lush. Vows tear-choked. Our seats front toasting with bubbles crisp. Love like yours, Elena whispered post-dance. My throat swelling. Clara's arm around waist. Full circle. Sophia's path diverged dramatic. Firm offer Manhattan high-rise. Her packing boxes stacked hall like accusations. Farewell dinner tear-soaked. Thai takeout spread. Her hugs lingering. Visit soon. Train station dawn gray. Platform winds whipping scarves. Her wave shrinking till gone. Empty echoed louder. Clara's pull at night urgent. Body seeking solace in familiar curves. They'll boomerang, she murmured after. My laugh muffled in neck. Like us. Grandkids shattered stasis joyful. Elena's boy first. Chubby fists waving. Red tuft crowning. Named Luca after lost uncles redeemed. Visits frequent. His crawl chaotic. Clara floorbound giggling. Future trouble. Sophia's girl followed fierce. Blue eyes piercing. Curls wild. Adia's tantrums met patience endless. Playdates park-filled. Swings pushed tandem. Our knees creaking in unison. Nana duty, I'd quip. Her retort. Boss level unlocked. Aging announced subtle. Clara's knee protesting stares. My glasses perched constant. But adventures adapted. Porch puzzles sprawling. Book swap dog-eared. Travel scaled local. Train to Milwaukee markets. Her bargaining cheese sharp. My photos capturing candid. Health scares brushed. Her checkup clean praise. My deadline stress eased by her brew. Team boss Harlan, she'd salute. Mugs clinking. Reflections deepened evenings. Wine loosening tongues. Photo albums thumbed yellowed. That first night, she'd start. My finish? Rain and ruin. Laughter layered. Love's evolution traced. Community anchored. Book club queer-hearted. Her panel talks on reform drawing nods. Legacy bloomed. Elena's Pulitzer nod. Sophia's landmark case. Our roots evident. Final chapter whispered autumn last. Her cough persistent. Doctor frowns deepening. Scan stark. Time's thief swift. Hospice chosen home. Bed Lakeview. Daughters rotating vigils. Grandkids drawings taped rail. Pain managed soft. Her hand mine constant. Eyes locking stories untold. Best plot twist, she rasped. My sob choked. Passage eased. Breath slowing. Room filled love tangible. Grief's dawn broke raw. But daughter's arms. Grandkids chaos. Carried forward. Life persisted textured. Her absence echo not void. Stories told bedtime her voice mimicked. Adventures imagined shared. Writing surged cathartic. Memoir raw released. Sales surprising. Talks booked coast to coast. She'd gloat, Elena tease. My nod true. Heart mended mosaic. Cracks gold-veined. Proof, from night's debt to dawn's embrace. Love endures. Human fragile fierce. Connections outlasting flesh. Light's quiet victory. Luca's first steps wobbled across the living room rug. His pudgy hands grasping air then clamping my knees. Green eyes wide with triumph as he hauled upright. Clara's whoop from the armchair scattering pigeons outside. Attaboy. That's my blood. Her grin wide. Lines crinkling eyes blue still sharp. As she scooped him high. His squeal piercing joy. Chicago winter pressed windows frosted. But inside warmth bloomed. Holidays early with his chaos. Wrapping paper shredded confetti. Elena hovered phone in hand. Capturing frames frantic. For the album, her excuse thin for tears pricking. Aria arrived whirlwind next. Sophia trailing exhausted beaming. The girl's curls a halo wild as she lunged for toys. Blue eyes locking Clara's mirror. Gammy. Toddle fierce. Toppling blocks we'd stacked patient. Hurricane Voss, Sophia laughed. My coffee sloshing as I steadied. Play stretched afternoons lazy. Fort-built blankets draped. Flashlights casting sados pepit grandkids directing talis tangled. And then the Mafia lady saved the day, Lucid pipe. Clara's wink to me loaded. With a little help from her writer. Parenting grand scale different. Advice doled gentle. Not mandates. Elena's midnight calls on colic woes met Clara's Jersey wisdom. Rock slow. Hum Springsteen. Sophia's work-life juggle eased by my meal trains dropped. Soup simmered stories swapped over counters. Gatherings swelled. Barbecues backyard modest. Grill smoke curling neighbors drawn. Her flips burgers expert. My salads tossed haphazard. Toasts clinked beers cold. To family found, her nod to our origins veiled. Travel beckoned scaled. Road echoes and minivan hauls to Wisconsin dells. Water slides shrieking. Clara's towel snaps playful. My sunscreen reapplications nagging. Sunblock Nazi, she'd tease. Grandkids giggling chorus. Evenings motel pools lit blue. Splashes echoing. Her floats bobbing lazy. Luca's cannonball soaking. Best crew, she'd murmur. My lean shoulder ward agreement hummed. Health's whisper grew insistent. Clara's knee swap surgery slick. Rehab grueling her curses creative. Son of a bitch hinge. I'd will her park slow. Benches claimed sunning. Birds fed crumbs sly. Recovery rallied. Walks lengthening. Her stride reclaiming swagger. My eyes check annual. Glasses thicker. Her quips. Sexy specs. Intimacy adapted inventive. Mornings slow tangled. Touches mapping changes fond. Daughter's milestones marked ours. Elena's book launch loft packed. Her reading voice steady. Clara front row beaming. Post-signing hugs bruising. Proud mama bear. Sophia's promotion toast firm sleek. Skyline views dizzying. Her speech humble. Our cheers loudest. Learned from the best, to Clara. My throat swell. Reflections ritual. Anniversaries lakefront picnics. Blankets spread sandwiches packed. Wine thermos warm. 20 years, she'd count. My correction. 22. Thief. Laughter rippled water lapping. Kisses salt from chips. Hands clasped timeless. Albums updated digital now. Scans crisp. Stories narrated grandkid laps. That's when Nana Rose met the boss lady. Community deepened. Queer center volunteer shifts. Her fraud workshops packed. My writing circles intimate. Fundraisers gala dressed rare. Her tucks sharp. My gown swishing. Dances slow cheek to cheek. Still moves, she'd whisper. My spin dizzy delight. Aging's gifts emerged wisdom distilled. Clara's consulting retired partial. Board sits advisory. Her voice gravel authority. My columns syndicated wide. Bylines bold. Talks campuses electric. Grandkids school plays front row fidget. Luca's tree awkward. Areas which cackle. Applause thunderous hours. Challenges crested soft. Empty nest redux with daughter settled. Dinners duo quiet savoring. Just us, she'd say. Candlelit pasta twirled. My foot nudge flirt. Travels boldened. Europe train hops. Paris cafes croissants flaky. Her French butchered charming. My sketches capturing candid. Eiffel at dusk, photo framed mantle. Us silhouetted eternal. Final hush arrived unbidden. Spring bloom mocking. Her cough lingering checked late. Diagnosis landed numb. Lungs shadowed. Time borrowed. Decisions communal. Hospice home chosen. Room aired lake breeze. Bed adjustable views endless. Daughters coordinated seamless. Elena's lists typed. Sophia's calls crisp. Grandkids shielded gentle. Visits dosed short. Luca's drawings taped. Area songs hummed off key. Vigil collective. Shifts rotated. Stories swapped low. Her laughs weak but genuine. Tell the canyon one, she'd request. My voice cracking vivid. Hand hers papery strong. Pain ebbed med soft. Eyes holding each gaze farewell layered. Love you all, rasped collective. Tears tributary. Passage came dawn hushed. Breath easing. Room gold tinged. Our circle unbroken. Grief's wave crashed immediate. Keen shared raw. Daughter's arms mine cradle. Funeral lakeside simple. Ashes scattered windswept. Toast her flask past. To Clara. Storm and shelter. Days blurred fogged. Meals force. Nights vast. But grandkids tugs grounded. Luca's Miss Gammy, my hug fierce. She misses you too. Healing threaded slow. Memoir sequel penned cathartic. Pages her voice channeled. Release catharsis communal. Readings packed. Shares tear stung. She lives here, hand heart pressed. Daughters anchored. Brunches weekly. Laughter creeping back. Stories her center. Travel solo tentative. Canyons revisited echoes. Wines her whisper. Keep writing. Legacy flowered enduring. Scholarships her name. Elena's foundation fraud fight. Sophia's clinic equity. Grandkids grew echoes. Luca's essays sharp. Aria's debates fiery. Holidays hearth filled. Empty chair toasts. Seats saved. Lives we've richened. Love's thread gold. From death's night to dawn's embrace. Proof human spirit bends not breaks. Connections eternal. Light's persistent glow.